Yesterday, we reported on key provisions of the city's police contract that are barriers to reform and efficient management of the department. Among these are the disciplinary process, as well as seniority and the way that overtime is doled out. You might think those are the reforms Mayor Byron Brown had in mind when he called out the union on TV.
In the past, the police union has been a barrier to reform.
But John Evans, president of the police union, who has negotiated the last 3 contracts, told me the mayor has never sought reforms.
Has the mayor ever sought to change the seniority system?
If he has, he's never brought it to us.
Has he ever sought to change the disciplinary system?
No.
Has he ever sought to change the way assignments are made and overtime is earned?
Not to us.
So what is the mayor thinking? I tried repeatedly to get Mayor Brown to sit down with me to talk about the police contract. His press secretary did not respond, not even to say no. Cole Adams, an attorney who analyzed the contract, says she finds no evidence Brown or the mayors who came before him have ever tried to use the contract negotiations to push changes in seniority or discipline. It's mostly just been about the money.
What you see in there is a lot of push and pull about, well, what are we going to pay you, right? How are we going to keep the public and the office, well, how are we going to keep the officers safe while we go down to 1-car patrols, right? And those aren't unworthy things, of discussion. However, nothing akin to the reforms that have been identified. There's not a ghost of that. There's not a hint of that.
Perhaps the biggest reform, making it easier to discipline cops for misconduct, doesn't necessarily need to be bargained. New York City and Schenectady have won court challenges to contract language similar to what's in Buffalo's police contract that strips the police commissioner of the right to discipline officers. But Buffalo hasn't followed suit. The current police contract expired a year ago. Negotiations have stalled, but they are scheduled to resume next week, and some elected officials, reacting to street protests, now see contract talks as a critical moment.
If we're really talking about real police reform, policing, and going to a model, a different type of model, that this may be an opportune time to do it when we talk about this contract.
Right now, talks are in the mediation phase. If progress isn't made in the next month, they might go to arbitration. If that happens, it'll be just about the money again. An arbitrator is unlikely to rule on key reforms the union is willing to talk about now, like a residency requirement, like annual performance evaluations, like more training, to say nothing of discipline and seniority. For Channel 2 News at City Hall, still waiting for answers, this is Geoff Kelly of Investigative Post.